Jameson Redding here, host of YakAngler's Inside and Out. I'm live at OR 2015 in the YakAttack booth with Luther Cifers, the man behind it all. You got some new products this year. Tell us a little bit about what you got coming out.
Sure thing, man. A couple of years ago, we came out here. We were in the pavilion with the SUPs. All the SUP people came over, wanted to know how could they attach accessories to stand-up paddle boards. So we put a lot of focus on our booth setup here this year on stand-up paddle boards.
Yeah.
So stuff that's going to work for kayak fishing, a lot of good crossover applications, but definitely an emphasis this year on the SUP market.
It's one of the fastest growing sports in the outdoor industry right now, stand-up paddleboarding.
It really is. I think it's taken it a little while to find its place in fishing, but we're really starting to see it with fly fishing and sight casting and stuff like that. Yep. So we think it's time to have some stuff to rig the boards, and not only for the fishing market, but for fitness and things like that. There's fitness apps out there. You need to be able to hold a phone. You need to be able to, have a drink holder or something like that on there.
Cool.
So, yeah, we looked at the boards, and there's a lot of leash plugs. That was the one thing that we saw that there was a lot of. So, about a year ago, we developed a leash plug adapter, and that's what we brought out here this year. It took us a while to get a production model. We really wanted to be careful about the design. Last thing we want to do is put too much stress on the leash plug, cause failures on the boards. So what we came up with is just a really flexible base. Okay. Keeps you from putting too much pressure on the board. And for this first one, we're going to recommend it for items that are light to medium duty, less than about a foot tall.
Okay. So rod holders, cup holders, things like that?
That's right. Okay. And then if you need to put a little bit more stress, or you need a little bit more area to mount stuff, we've developed another little cap. It's just an end cap for the gear track. It's pretty simple. We're called the hoodie. But what it does is it enables you to put a track anywhere between two leash points.
Yeah.
So this track is going to come, this is one of our regular gear tracks. The one for SUP will come with no holes in it. It's going to come in about a 36-inch length, something like that. And you just cut it to fit between two leash points, put one of the caps on either end, put a leash plug adapter connected to the leash plug, and then put a knob on it. So when you do that on both ends, as you can see on the board, you've got the track attached to the board, no holes are drilled, no modification to the board whatsoever.
So just like the kayaks, when you add the track, and now you can put any accessory you want on it.
Exactly right. And the other one that's a big deal for SUP, whether it's a wreck or whether it's fishing, is coolers. People have been looking for a lot of different ways to tie coolers down.
Yep.
So we made a little track-mounted tie down, and because like all of our accessories, if you remove the T-bolt, now it will go from a track mount to a leash plug mount. So you can take this. A lot of boards have a leash plug right where the cooler would sit anyway. Yeah. You hook this on, you put a cam strap on it, you're good to go.
Yep. Awesome. So I also looked at the paddle clips that you had at ICAST, but you made a little bit of a modification even since then, which was only a couple of weeks ago. Yeah,
that's right. I mean, when we went to ICAST, we were really down to the wire on getting the paddle clip ready. We went out there with a 3D printed prototype. The wheels were hard plastic as opposed to rubber. We went back to the shop, got our tooling straight. We made the rubber wheels. We had a little bit of grip to them, just to kind of lock that paddle in. Added a soft bumper to the bottom. So it's a little rubber bumper that goes on the bottom.
Okay. It's not going to scratch the paddle. It's going to be quiet.
It's going to protect your paddle. It's going to be nice and quiet. And, again, T-bolt, or we can put a leash plug on it.
Awesome. So always innovative there. And one last thing that I think is really awesome, you've had the parking pole for a while, up to 8 feet, but now what can we do with it?
So now we've got the parking pole link, and what we've done is we've taken the parking pole, we've developed just a simple screw-together connection. We're going to ship this as an 8-footer that's broken in half, so your extra shipping charges immediately go away. And then we'll have a 4-foot section that's sold separately. So if you need a 12-footer, you just add 4 feet to it. If you want a 16-footer, you add 4 feet to it. It works pretty well up to 16 feet. You start to get some flex, which for poling is actually kind of cool because it loads a little bit.
Yep.
But beyond that, it's getting too long. So we feel like it's definitely viable up to 12 feet. Pretty viable up to 16 feet if you don't have a little bit of flex. But the beauty is, even with a 16-footer, you can ship it for standard ground rates.
So that's great. And one other, part on this, which you've had ever since you've had the pole, but I just found out today in the booth that that's what it was for.
Yeah.
So I feel kind of dumb, but tell us what this little keyhole is for right here.
Yeah, so we put a little keyhole in there so that you can take a screwball, put the T-bolt in, and attach a 1-inch ball. Once you get the 1-inch ball on there, of course, you can put any of the RAM connectors, camera attachments, and stuff like that on it. So this is really cool for like third-party perspective. One person out there shooting by himself, he wants to get the paddle by shot, the paddle away shot, the surf launch, the surf return. Of course, you got to come back and get your camera, but it enables you to get those shots that you just couldn't get otherwise.
It's like having another cameraman out in the water.
Exactly right. You stake it out where you're going to cast, throw a couple of shots at it, works it real good into some footage.
Yeah, very awesome. So always cool, innovative stuff. Where can they find out more information about all your products?
YakAttack.us. You can find a dealer, and of course on social media. Stay tuned to that. We always keep our product updates, R&D, and all that stuff. We always keep the community informed. So definitely want to stay tuned to that too.
Very cool. Check it out.